So Luke, you have worked providing sleep support for elite sport and athletics for a number of years. You completed your PhD at Loughborough that was looking at actually how to translate specific sleep therapies for the context of elite sports. And you've gone to work with some quite high profile names. So Premier League football, international football, rugby, cricket, Formula One, to name a few. Why is sleep so important in elite sports?
So sleep's a relative newcomer to the elite sports scene, and I think because of that, it's been brought high up on sports agendas quite quickly, and everyone recognises the importance and value that sleep can bring to high performance sport.
Yeah, I mean, even with our population of kind of non-sport athletes, we find that when you're under pressure, sleep is often one of the first things that gets troubled. And actually, when you're working in elite sport, which is such a high pressure environment, it must just be so much more the case that sleep becomes an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly around certain moments of the season. So the way that most professional athletes and non-professional athletes go about their training and the competitions, there's always peak moments where they need to bring their A game and perform. And particularly around those moments, the psychological pressures of just having to perform can feed into sort of those challenges around sleep, particularly from a psychological perspective, but also from a physical perspective, in the way that players need to regenerate and recharge, but also make sure they wake up feeling like they're ready and motivated to perform.
Yeah. So you mentioned performance and you've mentioned recovery. Are there any other aspects that you think sleep is of particular importance in elite sport?
Yeah, I think sleep's fairly unique, not just in sport, but it obviously it's highly relevant to sport, is that it's quite intrudes every aspect of the athlete's life. So obviously their well-being and their health, in particular mental health.
And certainly one of the biggest researched areas of sleep is that impact on mental health and the kind of the bi-directional relationship you get with sleep and mental health. So I can see in the pressured environment of sport that this is an issue. And you mentioned that, particularly with the compression that you get in the match season, that sleep is an issue, but also in the run-up, in the training, that being able to get good sleep is really important in trying to meet your training goals, which clearly impacts the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sleep is fundamental to that. It's you have the stresses of training every day, the physical, emotional, even social stresses of just turning up every day and trying to be the best you can be on the training field. That has to be coupled with good rest in order for an athlete to be able to recover and adapt and sort of progress in their physical performance, but also in their ability just to tolerate the sort of the mental load and the social commitments of just being in a team, for example. So it's a fundamental part of it, and without it, you do see incidences of illness. There are some suggestions that it can increase the risk of injury as well. So it plays a fundamental part in that.